Well, multiple fire crews responded to a train derailment in Ferguson late last night. Some of those cars went off the track. Fox News' Michelle Medeiros joins us live from the scene with the latest. Michelle?
So you can see behind me here, the bulldozer is using the crane to sort of align the cars that are undamaged back on the tracks. Now, if you keep looking over this trellis behind me here, these houses, that's where several cars ended up in neighbors' backyards over here in the 300 block of South Elizabeth. Now, the fire chief tells us that nothing was inside at the time that these train cars came off the tracks, but you can see just heaps of metal. The train cars had been ripped open. They were laying on its side when we first came over here, but they've since erected a couple of the train cars. They are still working. There's very extensive damage, but luckily in all this situation, it's a miracle that no one was hurt, but it did frighten neighbors. We had one neighbor come over this morning and she said she's lived here for 40 years, never known there to be an issue, and then surprised to hear this happen late last night.
It's scary, you know, and especially when you're not really expecting it, but then you are hoping that something could be done, because I trip off of the train flying through it when it's raining, and you hear the noise, the house shakes. So I'm accustomed to the movement and the sounds.
Right.
So when I heard the badness of it and like it was jumping off, like something jumping off a track, I heard that first, and then I saw the sparks. When I saw the sparks, I put my pants on, so I said, it's time to get out.
Now, when that train derailed, it did hit a large tree. Otherwise, it probably would have traveled even further than it did. Now, at this point, investigators are still trying to determine what exactly caused the train to derail from the tracks. Live this morning in Ferguson, Michelle Medeiros, Fox 2 News.
Well, here's a look at the latest COVID-19 numbers from the bi-state area. Missouri health officials reported nearly 2,000 new COVID cases in the last 24 hours and 42 new deaths. In Illinois, health officials report more than 2,500 new COVID cases in the last 24 hours with 25 additional deaths. And COVID numbers in St. Clair County, Illinois are trending downward, so much that the county has been removed from the state's warning list. But businesses are still struggling with restrictions. Fox News' Jeff Bernthal has a story.